What's up with Helldivers? Well, it isn't gonna resolve itself. No, yeah, it's just not gonna resolve itself. It's just gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Do as well.
Hey, Sony here.
Oh, no, you don't, PlayStation. How dare you?
What?
Anymore. You're okay by kind of alienating and pushing away a certain group of people and, you know, ensuring that they're probably not going to support you anymore. You're not pushing away everybody. Again, go look at how many people are still playing Helldivers 2 on PC right now on Steam. Clearly not pushing away everybody.
Shut up, bitch!
I love democracy. Hello everyone, it is me, Game Penguin 21, and, well, now that it's been about almost a week since the actual incident, I think it's about time to talk about at least the aftermath of this. I know in my Tuesday video I brought this whole bit up about PlayStation and how, like, they were trying to make PSN going into it, and guess what? Well, they retracted the statement. And this is the part 2 to that whole situation. I was going to originally make a ton of salt on the actual decision that was being made. I actually had an entire video written out, but now I have to scrap it because they decided to do the right thing and give themselves less work to do, but more work for me because I get to make an entirely different video. Now, there will also be an interesting better video probably by the end of this week on gaming hot takes because I've been kind of taking a specific retweet and kind of looking into that one. So that one's going to be a more fun video by the end of the week. But let's take a look at some of the PlayStation fanboys' reaction to a specific tweet that Helldivers 2 is not going to require the PSN, and it is still going to be optional. With that being said, let's get started. But first, I have to do the shill bits. Like I said, I do appreciate you watching this video, and you don't need to, but a like and a subscribe would very much help me, because obviously I'm trying to hit 1K subscribers by the end of the year, and your help with that would be amazing. Every single one of you is great, and we're getting closer and closer every day. So again, I know you're tired of hearing it, but you know that I love it, and it keeps me going and making these videos. Number 2, I do stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/GamePenguin21. Link is down to that in the description below. I mainly stream on the weekends, but you're gonna have to check me out whenever that's possible. So, I do make music. Links to the Bandcamp down in the description below. I'm looking to get my stuff under Spotify and stuff, and when I do that, I will let y'all know. With that being said, PlayStation has updated everyone on the feedback that they are going to retract the need for a PSN account linking for the new players and for all the current players beginning the March, and they will not be moving forward with this decision, which is interesting. Now, there are a lot of different opinions about this, and of course, we're probably going to start off with this one here from Gaming Soldier saying the PC disaster race really showing how weak and soft they are. Biggest crybabies in the community. Now, this is actually specifically retweeting or like quote noting his thing on the PC disaster race do looking like this, which is a bit of the clip from the intro that I did, where they basically community note this man by explaining that Helldivers 2 had it as an option, but they were trying to hide evidence. And obviously the people who are defending this don't realize what hiding evidence is. But now let's taking a quick look over at MBG.
At the end of the day, corpos are going to do what corpos do. And listen, I've seen people say this as well. I want to say this. Just wait till you need an account. Yeah, right? Then I'll be like, and hey, you know what? Look, I get it, man. Like, if that shit comes my way at some point, something that really bothers me. Somebody said this about the censorship thing too. You're like, wait until something gets censored that you care about. It's like, yeah, okay, I get that. But it's like, I'm not going to, look, I could sit here and say I'm gonna go on a rampage, and we're gonna rise up, guys. We're gonna rise up. Like, dude, no, I'm just gonna walk the fuck away, is what I'm gonna do.
And that is where you and the PC people differ. You and me differ, actually, because I don't want to walk away. I don't want to sit down and take it the entire time because that leads to complacency. And yeah, absolutely. I'm still going to be talking about PlayStation people and well, not really defending them, but basically giving my opinion, because standing up for what you believe in is probably one of the more important things to do. You know, standing your ground and understanding when you know that you are, or you feel that you're correct in a situation, is the best thing. Because again, a conversation can lead to more than just discourse, I guess. Next up, we have this person called for Odd AIs. Now, Odd AIs was a very interesting individual. They seem to be the biggest Sony corporate bootlicker because of the fact that they had been tweeting and retweeting non-stop for the past weekend because of this whole Helldivers 2 situation. The one main tweet that I think really kind of showcases this is the tweet that they had before the announcement. So this is the one before the announcement of them doing that, saying Sony should force PSN overlay on every game they release on PC. It's for their own good too. When PC gamers discover the greatness of PlayStation trophies, they won't bother with trash Steam achievements ever again. My Steam achievements can make me some money. And, like, I know it's not a lot, but they give me, like, cool collectible cards that I can display on, like, my thing for specific achievements sometimes when I grind out games. And the achievements also glow when there's, like, less than 10% of people that have that achievement, which is cool. So, yeah. I mean, an achievement is an achievement. It's one of those things where it's just interesting to me. They also then had another thing to say about how people can see what they meant when the PC community hates Sony's guts with an insane difference in the energy of Helldivers, where, again, they completely misunderstand the point as to why people were upset, and how, you know, they are quote-unquote entitled little brats or whatever the fuck because we don't want the same practices on console on PC because the console is very restrictive and overall they're not good practices. You like them or you support them and you enable them to be complacent and not to actually, you know, make something good for that. But here's what they had to say after this effect. The one thing this Helldivers drama proved, though, is how unreliable the PC market is. Really? You can have a success and one day they can find a BS excuse to mass refund your game even after spending 200 hours in it. You lose all the money you made. It's like investing in meme coins. Lol. No, it's not. And I'm tired of pretending that you're correct, because you're not. You've never been correct. The PC people, for people that have been spending 200 hours in this game, like, are you fucking serious? That is your dedicated fans playing your game consistently. It kind of reminds me of this other tweet here with James saying some people will find anything to complain about when it comes to PlayStation, and make it seem like a problem when it's either been done before or other companies do the same thing. And the only reason is because PlayStation is the market leader and they are mad about it. Really? It's not because of any other reason that, you know, Sony has been trying to push and, you know, trying to bribe their way out of this position or into the market lead or something like that. That they're not just actively using their portion as the market leader, quote unquote, because to leverage their position. Bear in mind also that, according to Goat Gaming here, developing that the PlayStation fans are apparently upset over leaks claiming that PS Plus will have another price hike, and this time it can be increased up to 18%. So, that's interesting. I wonder why a lot of people aren't upset about that. Or I wonder why the people that I've looked at that are upset with Helldivers aren't upset about the fact that they're going to be paying more for PS Plus in the future. Gee, you wonder why Sony gets a lot of hate from the PC and a lot of other people. Next up, we have Dante here with the how do these PC gamers keep getting away with this? It's because we play it like a damn fiddle. Yeah, pretty much easily enough, and it's one of the interesting things that people are like, oh, how do they keep getting away with this? It's because we know what our value is and what we're worth. You don't. Stay mad. Next up here we have Darkborn with, yep, I figured that the people that he added are dealing with people who hate them so much that they will do anything to tarnish their name. Yeah, like give them money for a game that they enjoy. Honestly, the PC push needs to be halted due to people who vowed they will only pirate Sony games from now on. They have been for years now. We don't need hackers in online games either, like we've already had in Helldivers 2. Just pull the game and let them seed like they have been for years. Or, keep the game up, reverse the decision, and make more fucking money. Because, again, to the people who have not realized this, and the people who don't understand marketing, potential growth, and all of this stuff that I learned in the college business courses that I had to take for my degree, with the potential for the option of only having PSN or not having PSN, right? You literally expand your market to places you could not get money from beforehand. You get why people like Sony would want to keep this thing optional. It's because they can now reach markets that they could no longer reach with just the PSN, since PSN is not available in every country. Those 117 countries, yeah, now they can relist them, and they can make more money in perpetuity from them. You don't get why that's good. What is wrong with you not understanding this? Next up, we have M here with a congratulations to PC gamers on the Sony overturning their decision. Not gonna lie, didn't think they would do it, but you did. Like they always say, where there's a whine, there's a way. You can call us whiners all you want. We still got what we wanted in the end. And also, it's good for both sides. Because what they had was working, and what they had was making them probably more money than they probably could have made had they had this PSN from the very get-go. They also must have realized the legal implications, that some people might get a class action lawsuit against them because of this. So, congratulations, I guess. Things we learned this week, according to K here, or Key. PC nerds are a bunch of crybabies. Tim Dog turned full pony. Xbox is still dead. And there's never a dull moment in this house. Well, no. I actually think that you are incorrect. We didn't learn that PC nerds were a bunch of crybabies. We learned that PC guys are a bunch of people who are not willing to bend to a corporation because we know our worth and value. So, next up here, we have Ninja and PS5 plus PC Gaming. He said, these angry Karens are now review bombing God of War. I'm sure that will convince Sony to bring more games to PC so you neckbeards can review bomb them some more. This is why I don't associate with the PCMR weirdos, even though I'm on a PC for 32 years. Well, unfortunately, since you don't have a spine, you might have to get that PC card revoked. Jokes, people. Jokes, people. But more to the point here, yes, if people were review bombing God of War because they were going to maybe implement that, I would actually think that it would make Sony think twice about implementing the PSN account requirements going forward. Because since it went so poorly with one of their most popular games, one of the games that made them a lot of fucking money, and then it got immediately turned on because of this one decision, maybe don't do that. Or at least make it more clear that this sort of thing for these games would be optional going forward. And stick to your words. So, yeah. Back over here to Odd AIs with a Herman fraud pussied out again. But I see them drip feeding this, so by making it non-mandatory and then later on mandatory. God of War and the rest of the games coming in the future, or Ghost of Tsushima and the rest of the games coming in the future will have PSN day 1. And that's probably going to be fine. Now, again, had they had the PSN day 1, it probably would have not been a non-issue for some people. Some people might have gotten it, some people might have not gotten it. But by making it optional, you not only, again, made a good decision and was able to reach more markets than you would have otherwise, and then trying to go back on the words even after you've decided that, hey, this kind of makes sense to do, we're going to hold you accountable for your actions. And no longer are you just going to have a bunch of people saying, yes, sir, give me more. Here's your boot. Now lick. Because we know our worth and we're not going to back down. Next up, we have I Am Glory with the if I was a PlayStation executive, PlayStation games would only be on PlayStation. And it is this limited mindset that will forever keep you as an armchair CEO, never actually making anything, because you can't see the potential growth or future of this company on PC. And that sucks. So, congratulations. Next up here, we have Wolverine PS5 with, in an ideal world, PC gamers harass NVIDIA and AMD to the point where they post to Twitter, we heard you, we will lower the GPU prices. That is different than this situation. Don't equate the two, because one is a hardware thing, the other one is a software thing. And here's another thing, they also technically kind of do that. But again, they're there to make money, and we all know that eventually those prices are going to drop because they're going to keep coming out with new technologies and things like that. So, but lace bras and Stellar Braid and free account that takes 2 minutes to make and are more important. Thank God PC gaming is protected from Sony. Yeah, thank God PC gaming is protected from Sony because of the fact that Sony would 100% try to screw us like they have been screwing with you. Remember, 18% apparently for the PSN going forward with specific rumors. Next up here, we have a good old JTech TV with a, I miss the days when PlayStation games were only on PlayStation. PC fans just like to pirate and mod. They don't actually want to play these games. Ah, yes, because modding a game is equivalent to pirating a game. And not like, I like the game so much that I'm going to, to mold it into a different vision and take the time out of my day to make a model, rig it up, and put it into a game, or like take this modeling system and put it into an actual game in order to make it look cooler or do something else that I would want it to do. Totally not playing the game, 100% not, especially the pirating bit, because again, for people with pirating thing, go and watch some pirate software and you'll understand why pirating may or may not be one thing. But it's not all doom and gloom for this video, because there is a lot of people out there who are actually very positive in this sentiment, with a Demarcus Brunna saying, let this being a lesson, PlayStation, never bite the hands that feed y'all. PC gamers are not like your complacent ass fan base. You fuck with us, we shut your shit down, period. Do you understand me? And that's pretty much very true. I remember an older situation with with games for Windows Live, where that system was inevitably shut down because no one wanted the sort of, I believe it was like a console type system on the PC. We didn't want that. And guess what? It went out of business and became, unfortunately, a big loss for Microsoft. Why? Because they weren't doing it right. When you give them an inch like that, they take a mile. So congratulations to everyone for getting Helldivers 2 to revert, or for getting Sony to revert the Helldivers 2 decision. Next up here we have Noir saying the main takeaway out of this PlayStation/Helldivers 2 situation is that PC gamers are the most important segment in gaming right now. Thank you for saying so. Both Xbox and PlayStation will prioritize the feedback from the PC community over the feedback from the pure console users. That is clear to me now. And here's the thing. While, yes, that seems to be the case, there's not ill merit for it. Yes, for specifically certain aspects, they don't have the wiggle room in some cases because they're spending all of this money and they're losing a lot of money. And they've realized that the PC market, while not directly competing with their own marketplaces because they have their own established fan bases, there are sources of extra revenue that can make them a ton of fucking money. Like, have you seen some of the sales from, say, Xbox and stuff? Probably not. I mean, again, with Palworld in and of itself making the same amount of copies and selling the same amount of copies as a standard Pokemon game, which is only on one platform, but them being on a couple of platforms mean that your money revenue source comes from other places. And yeah, certainly, they might bend over with prioritizing the feedback of it, but that's because we give them the correct feedback for it. And as Astro Cyborg puts it, this is why you don't suck off these corporations. The right thing tends to happen with them kind of retweeting this person saying, console gremlins take it and PC gamers fight back, etc. Next up here, we have BitCloud Gaming saying this, which I think is an interesting take. Imagine how much change we would have with the current state of PlayStation if we were unified like the PC community. I'm just saying, awesome move by Sony. Let's keep it optional permanently. And yeah, absolutely. Imagine the kind of stuff that you could get out of Sony and, you know, have them be better rather than having them push the $70 games, push for an increase to PSN, push for bigger and bigger budgets, and, you know, push for you having to spend more and more and more and more with them without getting very little in return. Kind of makes sense and kind of seems to be better. With someone like Solid Rev here also saying, don't ever talk shit about the PC community ever again. These guys will not tolerate the same shit as us console guys do. Lol. And yeah, we won't, because at the end of the day, the PC people know what we want, and we have kind of escaped from the actual cave of which console people have done. And overall, I think that I'm going to end it off with two big ass tweets that I'm going to just read out verbatim from both Pirate Software and Cabrutus. So Pirate Software here says, the last few days of watching Sony gut Helldivers 2 is a grim reminder of the pitfalls of working with a publisher. Make sure you know what you're getting into before signing your game away. There are good publishers out there, but we've seen them kick a lot of ass for indies. They're always have a lawyer and your contracts and have everything in writing. I hate to see this kind of thing happen, and especially to such a good game. It's been a long goal of mine to either start a publishing house for indies or start working with one that aligns with the goals I have. Solutions like this just make me want to bump them up higher in the queue. And overall, yes, this is clearly 100% not Arrowhead's fault. I don't blame them at all. It is 100% a Sony decision, and at the end of the day, they fucking paid for it. And the internet got its pound of flesh. So, that sucks. But finally here we have Computer Disc with the last 2 weeks have been tough ones for PlayStation. This was made a little bit ago when the Helldivers situation was at its peak. Sony struggled a lot to release actually successful product on Steam for years before finally achieving it with Helldivers 2. This game's success is very well deserved, and said many times it's my favorite games to date. Then they deliberately decided to prevent a lot of players around the world from accessing their own beloved by many people in the game, just for the sake of having a little more PSN accounts on their database. Ghost of Tsushima is going to be released on Steam very soon, and a lot of this will surely impact the sales on the platform, which again, this will have ripple effects going forward. Seriously, I don't think I've ever seen a company sabotaging its own game like this fast, except for maybe, say, Escape from Tarkov, which in one, again, business decision kind of fucking destroyed itself in that situation. And the same thing with like Zao and a couple other games where it just really went to the dogs on that one. Overall, what did we learn from this situation, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I think to put it best, the biting the hand that feeds you is the problem here. Sony thinking that PlayStation could get away with making PSN accounts to people who clearly wouldn't want or need or can even sometimes access fucking PlayStation accounts. It's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, from a consumer standpoint, you don't understand it. But this kind of shows the disconnect that Sony tends to have with their player base, and how vehemently some of these player bases and some of these people will continuously fight and fight and fight, overall coming to a conclusion that it's not going to work the same way. This is one of the reasons why I keep people who tend to contradict me or I don't agree with on all terms, because that's how you make good character development, and that's how you keep yourself grounded, right? Having friends that you sometimes can disagree with, but still remain friends. Having people who will call you out for your bullshit is important. Because at the end of the day, you're not perfect. And I honestly think that this should show that Sony in and of itself is not the perfect company that a lot of people think it is. Any case, I think I'm going to have to leave it there. This video is going to be pretty long and arduous to edit. But if you like what it is that I do, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to support me in any other ways, links down to all of the social media and stuff in the description below. My name is GamePango21. Thank you so much for watching me rant into this microphone. And a peace. Off.